Hi, my name is Lisa Hernandez, and I am going to be presenting about PPG Industries today. Just to give an overview, PPG is a Pittsburgh-based global corporation that operates in the paints, coatings, and specialty materials industry. In 2024, the size of the market was $217 billion, and it's projected to reach $304 billion by 2032. So it's a pretty rapidly growing market. Key sectors being automotive, aerospace, construction, and industrial. There's strong growth, particularly in eco-friendly coatings, which is driven by regulation and commercial consumer demand as well as individual consumer demand. PPG's major competitors are Sherwin-Williams. That's another major U.S. paint and coatings manufacturer. It acquired a paint company called Valspar in 2017, making it an even bigger competitor. AkzoNobel, which has a strong European presence. That's a European-based paint and coatings company, and it focuses on sustainable products. Axalta, which is more of a niche paints and coatings company with a focus on automotive and industrial coatings, and BASF Coatings, which is a subsidiary of BASF, a German company with an emphasis on sustainable solutions and industrial coatings. The forces of industry change in this industry are there's a lot of market volatility due to fluctuations in economic demand and downturn. Most recently, that's been demonstrated by decreased demand for automobiles, which has really had an impact on the automotive coatings industry. Another force of industry change is really stringent and changing environmental regulations, particularly regarding volatile organic compound limits and emission targets from various governments around the world. There's a growing demand for sustainable and high performance coatings, and sometimes it's hard to get both of those things in one product. And recently there has been a lot of increased competition from Asian manufacturers who have joined the market. When we do a Porter's Five Forces analysis, we see that the two most important factors are the high bargaining power of buyers, because large industrial clients are able to negotiate lower prices, such as the automotive manufacturers. When demand was lower, they were able to, they're just such a large consumer of the product that they're able to negotiate lower prices. There's also really, really intense industry rivalry and competition amongst these global manufacturers. As a way of dealing with that intense competition, PPG actually sold its very large architectural coatings division to focus more on performance coatings. Architectural coatings being like house paint and interior paint. The critical success factors that I have identified for this industry are listed here. Innovation and technological advancement, operational efficiency, quality and performance, regulatory compliance, and market responsiveness and flexibility. Innovation and technological advancement is really important in this industry because it is such a rapidly changing industry, and it has to change as technology advances, like in the aerospace sphere or in the marine sphere. The coatings have to kind of keep up with the technology there. Operational efficiency, the raw materials and chemical compounds used to make these products are so expensive, and some need to be handled with a lot of care. So efficiency is really key. Obviously, quality and performance. These products are used to coat, jet engines and turbines and things that need to operate at a really high level. So quality and performance is really important. And then, like I've mentioned, regulatory compliance because of the compounds used to manufacture these materials. and market responsiveness and flexibility due to downturns, economic downturns, and drastic changes in demand for product. PPG's mission and vision, I just wanted to talk about that for a moment. Their mission is stated as "We protect and beautify the world." And their vision is to be the first choice partner for innovative coatings and surface solutions. Their mission and vision and some of their other related statements demonstrate a strong commitment to sustainability and innovation compared to their competitors. When we perform a SWOT analysis of PPG, we see that their strengths are their diverse portfolio, strong investment in research and development, and their global presence. Their primary weakness is their vulnerability to economic downturns. Their opportunities are expansion into emerging markets and sustainable products. Also, there's some opportunity to expand into more niche markets. And the threats are the intense competition in the market as well as economic uncertainty. The core competencies that I've identified for PPG are strong research and development investment, which drives innovation, as well as their stated and restated commitment to sustainability and ethical business practices, which is inherent and explicit in pretty much everything that they do. These core competencies give them a competitive edge in the specialty and industrial coatings sector. The competitive strategy that PPG uses is differentiation. They produce really specialty products that command premium pricing, and that is very dependent on brand recognition and relies on brand recognition to command those high prices for their products. There has to be a lot of trust in the brand. Their growth strategy has been a mixed strategy of both acquisition and divestiture. They have made some strategic acquisitions, most recently in 2021, and they acquired another company in 2008. They have also recently, like I said, divested themselves of their architectural coatings unit to focus on the industrial coatings. And there have been mixed financial results from these strategies, overall positive, but analysts predict that this streamlining they've done is expected to consistently improve margins over time. In terms of market expansion, they are growing strategically by investing in their existing manufacturing facilities. For example, they did a big expansion in one of their plants in Brazil in 2023, as well as the strategic divestitures that I've already mentioned, as well as some reductions in force that they've done recently. The organizational structure of PPG is a pretty typical hierarchical corporate structure with an executive leadership team and board of directors that is very common for this sort of, publicly traded corporation. The strengths are that there are very clear roles for the leadership team, and it's a good environment for strategic decision making. It's really collaborative and consensus driven. The primary weakness with this organizational structure is that it's pretty slow to respond to market changes due to the hierarchy and just the sheer number of people on the leadership team and the board of directors. PPG has a really significant and extensive ESG program. They have a long and involved global code of ethics, which covers labor, environment, and business integrity. A few years ago, they were recognized by a company called EcoVadis and got a gold rating for their corporate and social responsibility efforts, which placed them in the top 5% of companies worldwide. In this arena. They also have a supplier code of conduct, which ensures ethical sourcing and human rights compliance. And it includes some obvious things like prohibiting child labor and forced labor, but there's also a lot of really nuanced language regarding the ethics of their suppliers. In terms of leadership and their policies, PPG's CEO really is a down-to-earth leader. He emphasizes frontline employee engagement. He stated in a recent interview that their nice building in downtown Pittsburgh, that's not really where the action happens. The action happens on the front lines in their manufacturing facilities and in their plants. And that sort of, servant leadership nod to frontline employees is really, really refreshing, and it demonstrates very an empathetic type of leadership. And the other leaders too are very similar. The style focuses on empowerment and accountability, as well as innovation. And the HR policies that are publicly accessible, which there aren't a lot of them, but the ones that I could find promote inclusivity, equity, and sustainability. So after I did my analysis, the recommendation that I came up with is what I would recommend to PPG is that they expand into the specialty medical coatings market. The global medical device coating market was valued at almost $13 billion in 2022, and it is a rapidly growing market. It's growing at a clip of 8% annually, and that's expected to persist through 2030. There's a growing demand for medical devices and medical equipment, medical materials due to the aging population of our planet and the need for high quality medical devices and high quality healthcare and affordable healthcare. And PPG already has some experience in medical coatings. For instance, it makes a coating that goes on X-ray machines and IV materials. And it already manufactures this product called Sigma Glide, which is used on the bottom of ships. And it's this really, really slick, sort of slippery paint that is meant to repel the growth of any kind of barnacles or algae or anything. And it creates this frictionless environment in the water and also a very clean environment. And there are some uses for a substance like that. Obviously, it would need to be modified. But, catheters, guide wires, surgical instruments could benefit from that sort of coating. And given PPG's longstanding commitment to research and development, as well as compliance in really highly regulated areas, which obviously medical equipment is a highly regulated area as well as their longstanding commitment to ethics and to ethical operations, makes it very well suited for this kind of expansion. And the real benefit into expanding into this sort of niche market, which is related, it would be a related business unit to what they're already doing. But there's much less fluctuation in this market than there is in the industrial and specialty coatings market. This is a type of specialty coating, but a very niche type of specialty coating. So that would be my recommendation for PPG. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to my presentation.